Welcome to Baseball Biz. Chaos reigns in the wild world of baseball as we come to the conclusion of the regular season with 162 games. It's Sunday, October 3rd, 2021, the last day of the 2021 MLB regular season. Are all your picks in? Have all the divisions been won? Are all the wild cards slotted in already? No. Let's take a look at it. We'll start with the American League. If you think you've heard some of this before, that's only because you have. It's been interesting watching the divisions being clinched. You know, we saw, of course, as things were moving along, that first, the Chicago White Sox, they clinched their division with the AL Central. Next, the Tampa Bay Rays clinched theirs in the East. And lastly, the Houston Astros clinched theirs in the West, courtesy of a loss from the Tampa Bay Rays. So where's everybody else? Where's the rest of these guys? Wild card? Let's see. Oh, yeah, it's either going to be the Yankees or Toronto or Seattle or Boston. But you can only have two of those guys in the wild card game, right? For the American League? Yeah. So what does that mean actually today? You know, who's winning? You know, who's where in this scenario? Are we looking at a game 163? Let's start with the Yankees. You know, they were leading this thing. They were the summit of the wild card choices for the American League. But the last two games at Yankee Stadium, they're playing a series of 3 against Tampa Bay Rays. And they've lost game 1 and game 2. Right now, that keeps them at 91 games. Boston has been climbing up. The Red Sox are completing a 3-game series at the Nationals. Game 1, they won 4-2. Game 2, they won 5-3. And today, if they win today, that will move them up to what? That's right, you got it. That will move them up to 92 games. So if the Yankees lose and the Red Sox win, well, there you have it. So if the Yankees stay stagnant, they lose, say, to the Rays today, that keeps them at 91 wins. Red Sox now are already at 91. Let's say they lose as well. So that's 2 teams at 91 wins. Let's look right beneath them. What's going on there? Well, another American League East team, the Blue Jays, have been climbing back bit by bit, clawing back bit by bit. Right now, they are at 90 wins. And a win today, if the other 2 lose, that would make a 3-way tie, wouldn't it? Let's see, Yankees, Boston. And if the Blue Jays win today against the Orioles in Rogers Stadium up there where the Blue Jays call home, that would make them with 91 wins. So that's three teams with 91 wins, right? Okay, that seems to be working out. We'll figure out the math here. So you only got 2 teams that are going to go to this. But guess what? There's actually some activity going on outside of the American League East. If we look to the West, while we see that the Astros have already taken the division, just beneath them are the Mariners with 90 games. So let's imagine this. Okay, so if the Mariners win, that takes them up to 91 games. Mariners win today. Blue Jays win today. Red Sox lose. Yankees lose. You got 4 teams vying for those 2 wild card positions. What happens next? Game 163 on Monday. What's that look like? Well, for starters, Boston has to win, obviously. And it's taken its toll on Boston. I know in planning for game 162 here today, that Alex Cora is going to be putting Chris Sale on the mound, which very, very effective pitcher. We'll see how that works out. During a press conference yesterday after the game, reporters asked Alex Cora how he was feeling. You know, he was looking a little rough. Here's Cora's response to that.
I'm grinding, Pete. I love this. This is what I'm here for. I enjoy it, and every pitch means a lot. It means everything to me. And I love the fact that after games, I'm exhausted because I do care about this team. I do care about this organization. I do care about my players.
Meanwhile, in New York, the Yankees got it handed to them. I got to tell you, you don't get a 12-2 score without some serious things going on. One of them was Mr. Brandon Lowe. Brandon Lowe, he had 2 home runs where he drove in 2 other runners so there's 6 runs that Brandon made a difference with. Then he went on later to hit another solo home run. Wow. After one of Brandon's home runs, Mike Zunino had to have one for himself, and bam, a solo home run right there. It had to be rough. And to be Aaron Boone, after that game and going into the press conference was a little rough. He started out with a few comments about reflecting on the game. Here's what he had to say.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a real tough day. You know, they jumped out to a lead on us early and, you know, obviously kept adding on. And, you know, just a bad day for us. And, you know, we gotta get over it quickly.
Get over it quickly, indeed. You know, Aaron, you got a challenge, man. You've got issues. You got a good team. They didn't seem to be up to snuff with the series of pitchers that Kevin Cash put out there on the mound. Shane Baz, Luis Patino, Whistler? Yeah, Whistler was out there. Mazza really closed it out. These are important pitchers to take note of because you're going to see them in the postseason. If you, being the Yankees, make it there. So I'm sure you all were taking notes. So let's see what happens today. Will the Rays rout the Yankees at home, Yankee Stadium, the last 3 games? If so, what happens next? The Mariners are still fighting for it. Mitch Haniger had an RBI that closed out a win last night. Here's what Mitch Haniger had to say about what he and the Seattle Mariners did last night.
Just fired up, you know, trying to win every game, and putting the team up by 2 there was fun. It was good, and you know, trying to win every single game, win every single pitch, and you know, every pitch is so meaningful. So every run that we can bring across the plate is huge, especially in the last couple games, this last series with so much on the line. That was a good feeling. I mean, as soon as we came in, we were like, hey, let's go. Like, come on, we got to put pressure on them. We believe in ourselves all year. We came back a million times this year.
And if that wasn't enough for you, look at it again. Another American League East team, and we're talking about Toronto. Can you say Vladdy Jr.? Can you say Teoscar Hernandez? Can you say Gurriel? Oh, my gosh. All these names, all this achievement, and bam, they're going to be there too. So let's take a final look at what this is going to be. Who is going to have what here in Game 162? This comes from ESPN. If the Red Sox clinch a wild card berth, what's going to happen is you have to have a win at the Nationals today. Or, you know, there could be losses both by the Blue Jays and the Mariners. That would clinch it for them. If you look at the Yankees, what has to happen? Well, let's see. They got to win today with the Rays. Or there can be losses by both the Blue Jays and the Mariners. Mariners, they'd have to force a tiebreaker game with a win, and there would have to be a loss by either the Red Sox or the Yankees. Lastly, the Blue Jays, to force a tiebreaker game with a win, and there would have to be a loss by either the Red Sox or the Yankees. Wow. Doesn't that threaten my sanity just to think about it? Well, true fans of the game are obviously going to have their eyes today on the tube. Games start today at 3 o'clock across all 30 teams. 15 games starting today at 3 o'clock, 3:05, 3:10, thereabouts, and whatever. And we're talking Eastern time, so this will be exciting. All this is going to happen at once. So that's it for this abbreviated version of Baseball Biz. Just taking a look at the American League and what may be happening today. I'm not even going to get started on what could happen with the Dodgers and the Dodgers and the Giants today, because that's a whole other piece of insanity. But needless to say, it's dependent upon today to see which of those teams actually wins the National League West. Enjoy the day, enjoy the games, and who knows, we may be looking at Game 163. Thank you all again for listening to this bonus edition of Baseball Biz. And remember, we're here every week at whether it be iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, Pandora, wherever you listen to your podcast, we're there. Anyway, thanks once again for listening to Baseball Biz, and I hope your team wins. unless they're the Yankees. Special thanks to XTaKeRuX for the music rocking forward.